A Vatican Confidential like this one, that comments on the war in Ukraine, has never been more difficult to prepare because, as you know, the situation there changes from moment to moment. The number of refugees and displaced people continues to rise, along with the dead and wounded on both sides. Military maneuvers change and diplomatic efforts flounder. All that's certain is that despite peace talks and hopes for a ceasefire, tensions continue to escalate. And the tone of Pope Francis' condemnation of the war has been escalating along with them.
In nome di Dio vi chiedo, fermate questo massacro. Ecco la bestialità della guerra, atto barbaro e sacrilego.
Massacre, barbarism, sacrilege. These are strong words, even for a pope. But Pope Francis hasn't limited himself to words alone. The day after Russia invaded Ukraine, he broke all diplomatic protocols and paid a personal visit to the Russian embassy to the Vatican in a gesture of personal and immediate mediation. Since then, he's made numerous public and private appeals for peace, called for prayer and fasting, and even consecrated both Ukraine and Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Madre di Dio e nostra, solennemente affidiamo e consacriamo al tuo cuore immacolato noi stessi, la Chiesa e l'umanità intera, in modo speciale la Russia e l'Ucraina.
That was the first time the Pope mentioned Russia specifically. The question is, why hasn't he done so before? And why hasn't he called out the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, by name? Because he risks making a terrible situation even worse. That's why. Labeling Russia's president a war criminal, as some have been urging Pope Francis to do, would slam the door on any possibility for dialogue or bridge building, something one of the Pope's many titles obliges him to do. As Pontifex Maximus, he's literally required to mend broken bonds, to repair the connections that have been shattered by human irresponsibility. The same applies in terms of his relationship with Kirill, the Orthodox Patriarch of Moscow. After the Patriarch defended and even justified Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there were calls for the Pope to excommunicate him. Pope Francis did exactly the opposite. He organized an online meeting with Kirill, during which he reminded the Patriarch and the rest of the world that the idea of a holy war no longer exists. He also warned explicitly against hiding behind religion to justify armed aggression. Instead, Pope Francis keeps insisting that dialogue is the only way to resolve tensions of any kind.
Desidero assicurare la mia preghiera per la cara Ucraina, per tutte le sue chiese e comunità religiose e per tutto il suo popolo, perché le tensioni ad essa siano risolte attraverso un serio dialogo internazionale e non con le armi.
Encouraging encounter and promoting mediation rather than confrontation. That's what a bridge builder is supposed to do. And that's what Pope Francis does when he keeps the doors of dialogue open by not naming names. My Irish Catholic grandmother put it much more simply when she used to say, "Condemn the sin, but don't condemn the sinner."